Welcome to Action Coaching. We're certainly delighted that you join us on today because we believe that God has a special coaching word just for you. I'm excited to share about the people of God. This session is coming to you in a brand new year, and I know in every new year people are making New Year's resolutions or saying they're going to make changes and all of those things, those cliches that we use each and every year. But however, I would like for this to be a time that you put things in action that you don't have to wait till a new year, but they continue to act in your life on and on and on so that you can continue to have those things that you desire, be in the position that you desire to be in. And certainly we thank God for that because nobody makes it without a coach. Every one of us need a mentor, friend, some person to kind of come along and point the way or give us their experiences. You know, one of the greatest ways, well, the greatest way you can learn in life is from somebody who have been on the journey before you, because they can tell you about all the bad experiences, all the things they tried that did not work, and it will just guide you to say, okay, that's already been tried and proven that it won't work. I think I want to do something different. So, you know, everybody in life needs a mentor or a coach or a motivational speaker or whatever you like to call them, because none of us make it on our own. Now we're excited. We've been talking in our ministry, even this has been a goal of my life, is about taking action. And matter of fact, you know, it has blessed me so that God have done a whole lot of things I never thought I would achieve, because he just simply gave me a simple message: word in action. And thus, things like action coaching and all of that was born out of this. But we are going to talk about, in this year, how do you manifest those actions that you desire to see? That's what I want to talk about. That's what I want to make some points about. And that's what I want you to know, so you can begin the process of experiencing great things in your life. Now, all of you that watch this on YouTube, hit subscribe so you know all the exciting things that are coming up here on Action Coaching. Facebook, like, amen, and let others know so that they can be a part of Action Coaching, because they too can experience these things that God is leading me to tell you, and we can all be blessed. Of course, I want to encourage you to continue supporting Action Coaching so that we can grow bigger and better and offer more things in your life. Now, I left off saying that, you know, it's time that rather than somebody making New Year's resolution every year, I think it's time to learn how to manifest those things in your life that you desire for yourself. I'm not talking about somebody else, but what you desire for yourself. I want to just talk some basic points and principles here on today to kind of, you know, get you started toward the things that you desire for yourself. Now, there's nothing wrong with celebrating somebody else's success. We're not in the business of being jealous of the achievements that others have done, because one thing I know, the reason you don't have time to be jealous of the achievements of what others have done, because you look at the backstory of how they get there and you'll find out they had to make a whole lot of sacrifices. They had to put up with a whole lot of difficult things to get to where they are. And a person that's trying to do the same thing don't have no time to get jealous of anybody. Don't have no time to hate on anybody, because I'm too busy about believing that those things I want in my life will come true. So how do we achieve that? Now, number one, you got to have vision. Now, that might sound simple when I say it, but a lot of people got multiple visions. But I found that the best thing is to get the one main vision, and the multiple visions will come out of that one main vision. Give you an example. You can have an apple, and obvious whoever decide to grow apples, they produced an orchard with many apples on apple trees in that orchard. But out of that apple came apple cider, apple pie, apple jelly, apple cider. So many different things came out of that one vision. Most of the time, the world we live in, people got a host of visions and don't ever get to the one vision first. They'll do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, and a little bit of that, and when they look up, they haven't achieved any of it. You got to do one thing first. You got to keep the main thing first. And a lot of other things will spring out of the fruit of the original seed you put in ground to grow in yourself, and you'll find you got the possibility of experiencing so many things. And that's important to understand that visions are necessary. Now somebody said, how can I have vision? Well, a lot of times it's unique, but visions come so simple that most people miss it. What do I mean by that? Most people say, well, I'm looking for a vision, I'm looking for a vision. A lot of things that you see naturally that you want to do is your vision in action. You just don't want to accept that. Some people can see things like, oh, I think I just want to do that. But oh, no, I don't feel that's big enough. I got to go off on some tangent on something I'll never achieve, because I don't believe that that is big enough for what I want to do. Understand, here's the principle. You can look at a small seed and miss the fact that it is a big old garden inside that seed. Some people can run at the garden, but the garden is a result of the seed. Some people can run at riches, but riches is a result of the divine idea. It's the small things that got all the power in it. But a lot of times people don't like to look at the small things. They want to just go big all at once. You know, have you ever seen it that, I just say it for myself, when I didn't have nothing, nobody came along and offered me insight on how to have something. Matter of fact, very few people told me that I could be bigger, or I could do bigger things, or I can do this and that. And I'm quite sure a lot of you experience that, because sometimes people just look at you and judge you and just decide what you cannot do based on their perspective, or how you talk, or where you came from, or how you look, or whatever family you out of. But I found out none of that got anything to do with anything when you get focused. You know, you can hear a whole lot of talking, and most of the time people that's talking, I say it this way. You know, it's easy to criticize from the cheap seats. What do I mean by that? It's easy to talk about somebody doing something when you ain't doing nothing. And you're going to always have those people. But I found out that a vision, and you're starting out with a little something, can grow into great big things. Visions of dreams, insights, a lot of time that are only created so you can see it. That's what it is. Because if you can't see you, you sure ain't gonna see nobody else, and you ain't gonna see nothing else bigger than what you thought. So you got to get a dream. You got to get a vision. And stop trying to copy somebody else's vision. Get your own unique vision. Nobody can beat you at being you. So stop trying to make yourself like everybody else and have a vision for you. Or I want to sing like this person. Or I want to look like that person. Or I want to live where that person is. Well, you're not going to do that. But you can live where you're supposed to live. You can sing like you're supposed to sing. You can achieve what you are supposed to achieve if you just stay focused on that. And that's important. That's important in this time of action manifestation. Stuff is not going to manifest unless you take an action, unless you are willing to do the things that are necessary so it can come to pass in your life. Laziness is not going to get you there. Not doing it or putting it off to tomorrow is not going to get you there. It's all about how much are you willing to get started. So that's the first thing. Vision is important. Not a multiple vision. Just get a vision that you can put your time in right now. When God first told me to start a ministry, well, I got a vision. You know what my vision was? My vision was at that particular time, 5 points is different from what it is today, and that's a place in Atlanta where all the buses would come and let the people off, and they would change buses and everything. And so on any given day, it was hundreds of thousands of people down there. Now, my vision was, he told me to go tell people to put the word in action. Well, I figured I need to go to the place where the most people are congregating and tell them to put the word in action. Don't want you to go anywhere. I'll be right back to talk to you. What I did, I decided that, well, if I stay focused on where the most people were gathered together to hear what I got to say, then chances are I can reach the most people there. I didn't say I was going to go down the block and hope people come, or go on the next corner and hope people come there. I identified a place where the most people came. And if I'm going to get my message out, then I need to go there consistently. And I went consistently. Nothing stopped me. Cold, rain, none of that. I went consistent. And I was consistent in that every single day. So you have to understand, vision make you focus. And a lot of people don't succeed because they are not focused. Second point I want to make, after vision, if you're going to achieve anything, you're going to have to be willing to sacrifice. Now, most people want greatness, but they're not willing to sacrifice. They think greatness is something easy that you can do. You know, a lot of times when people start wanting to lose weight, you know, a lot of times, first of the year, a lot of people say, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to get my body in shape. And they think that by taking some new drink, some new drug, some new insulin is going to make me look like I want to look. But the thing about it is, if you want to look like you want to look and stay like you want to look, there's going to have to be some things you have to sacrifice. Maybe you can't eat like you did when you were much smaller. If you intend to get back there, there's going to have to be some sacrifice. So the thing about achieving those things that you want in life, you got to sacrifice. I think sometimes those of us that have achieved, sometimes people can look at it and think it was easy. But I'm here to let you know, if that was easy, I don't never want to see easy again. Because that definition of easy almost took me out many days. I was not prepared for what sacrifice demands. I often would look up many days, and the world better be glad I wasn't Jesus. Because all Jesus went through on the cross, oh, it wouldn't be nobody having God in their life, because I'd quickly raise my hand and say, it's going to be me or them. And if I got to go through all of that, there is no way I'm going to get up on the cross and suffer for all of them. Sacrifice is necessary. Sacrifice leads to greatness. Sacrifice leads to dreams come true. Sacrifice leads to open doors. Sacrifice leads to things you have never experienced physically in your life. But it's going to take sacrifice. Everybody that's watching me now, repeat after me. There is no shortcut around sacrifice. One more time. There is no shortcut around sacrifice. You are going to have to sacrifice. Case in point, no sacrifice, no goal, no achievement without sacrifice. And yes, sacrifice is difficult. I'll be the first to tell you, sacrificing is not enjoyable. It's a test of your character and your drive and your belief, because sacrifice is not easy. I wanted some more money at one time. And so I said, well, I'm working this job and it's paying me so much, but it's just not enough. So I was working with a friend who was older than I was and kind of semi-mentor. He looked around and told me, well, if you want to make more money, you got to go get another job. Now, what he said, it sounded good at that particular moment. He said, well, you might have to work 2 jobs to get what you want. Then I'm thinking, well, that sounds like a good idea. I had a daytime job and I had an evening job. And yes, I make more money on the daytime job and the evening job because I was working 2 jobs. But I found out that working 2 jobs, I ain't have no time for no recreation. And some of the things I used to like to do when I got off, some of the things I might engage in when I got off the one job, because the second job took all of that away. Now, I could want the money, but I knew there was the things I was doing that I couldn't do on the second job, that if I wanted to do those things, I had to let the second job go. Or I had to understand, to get to where I wanted to go, I had to make that sacrifice. And once I understood that, then I began to achieve the goals of mine. I began to have more money. I began to be able to do more things. But it did not come without sacrifice. So the second step is, if you want things to manifest, it's going to be some sacrifices made. You can enjoy the gifts and talents of a lot of people and not understand that there's a lot of sacrifice behind the scene. That's why a lot of times when you see all these wonderful stories come to an end, I feel like it's not enough time spent on what it took for that person to get to where they are. If you want to achieve great goals, you want to achieve that vision in your life, you want to achieve being in a place you've never been before, there's going to have to be some sacrifice. It's going to take sacrifice. No sacrifice, no goal. So see, we talked about point number 1. You got to have vision. Point number 2, you got to be willing to sacrifice. Now let's move point number 3. Point number 3 ain't never changed in time and eternity, and it never will change. Now people don't work on trying to change it, but it's never going to change. It's going to stay the same all of the time. If you are not willing to put the WORK into action, to bring it into the reality that exists right now, you are never going to make it. Yes, a lot of people have done great things, but you'll find they practice these principles. They had to be put the work in. If you want to be twice as good as the next person, you got to put twice the work in. You just can't talk it. You just can't say, I'm going to do it. You are going to have to put the work in. Yes, the good old-fashioned WORK. You're going to have to put the work in. And this is a time where you can open up so many doors if you practice these 3 principles. Things that you have not seen are going to come to pass. Blessings that you never thought you would have are going to open up to you. And you know, I heard some writers say, and I agree, movement always creates action, or friction generates heat, whichever term you want to use. For people that are doing these things, oh, there's going to be some action. There's going to be some heat generated in the room, because that is what it takes. You look at all these successful people in their craft, whether it's athlete, basketball, football, baseball, singing, acting, or whatever, you find out that they have put in a whole lot of work. Rather than get jealous at the amount of money they make, understand they make that amount of money because they have put in a whole lot of work. And that's what it's all about. Now, I don't want you to go anywhere. I'll be right back to talk to you. I left off talking about how it's going to take a whole lot of work to achieve anything. And people that are generally being paid the most, they got the most responsibility, and they have to put in the most work. They have to get out there and get it done. There's not room for lazy people in this club. If you ain't coming with your working shoes on, your working mindset, I can assure you, nothing is going to manifest for you. But if you can achieve it, if you're willing to put in the work. I've had a lot of people say they want to be great preachers, great evangelists, great ministers, great businessmen. I got no problem with all of that. But it's sad to say they are saying something that they are not willing to put the work in. The plain old W-O-R-K. Got to put the work in. If there was a drink that I could sell or pill that I could sell for work, I would definitely create it, and I would be one of the richest people around. I'd be selling my work pill or my work juice all of the time, but you're going to have to put the work in. See, action coaching is about motivating you with principles that you got to do if you want to be successful. If you want to achieve something in life, you got to do these principles. It's no time for trying to do it outside the rules. Just use the rules and benefit for yourself. And you can watch various things take place that you have never seen before. That's what it's all about. Putting in that work. And you got to understand that it's all a part of it. This year, I see that there's so many people that are willing to do these things. Not gonna sit around and wait for the political system to give some handout or whatever they promise it. Chances are they ain't doing it for all of us anyway, because we gotta understand that if you want your dream to come to pass, you better do these things for yourself. Don't wait for somebody to open the door for you. You open it, you knock till it opens. And if you're knocking on it, it ain't open, then invent the key. Bottom line is you going through the door. That is what this is all about. Things are gonna manifest. Things are gonna happen. God is going to open doors for blessings. He's going to give opportunities for achievements. He's going to help us see things we never saw before, but we got to be ready. I believe it. Opportunity do come to the prepared. Case in point, very seldom do opportunity come to the lazy. I ain't heard of it. Maybe if you one of those persons that opportunity came to the lazy, then you might need to let the rest of us in on how did that happen. But most of the time, opportunity comes to those that are putting the time in, that are doing the work. When we read stories of people's great achievements, great sufferings and pain that they went through to get where they are, the one thing we saw over and over is vision, sacrifice, and work. What are your goals for this time we're living in? What have you made up in your mind that you're going to put these three things into place? I would love to hear from you. I would love for you to send them to me so we can be praying and believing together and pushing you to keep driving forward, and don't stop till it's yours. Don't stop till you have achieved it. Because I'm going to tell you, well, matter of fact, let me give you a good example. I didn't run track. But one time, I was out on the track field while the track team was practicing. Now, I told you in advance I didn't run track. And then they had the runners running the high hurdles. The hurdles where you run so far and then you leap and jump over this hurdle that's sitting there. I felt like I could do that. It didn't look that hard when I was watching them do it. So I felt like I'd get back a distance and I'm gonna run and jump over that hurdle. Now I got back a distance, it was some running, but the one part I forgot that took a little skill and work, that was jumping over the hurdle. I didn't quite make it over the hurdle, brought the hurdle down, and quickly hit the ground. And I was frustrated. And those that do it say, well, here are certain things you got to learn. You got to visualize jumping. You got to know the necessary steps to take. You got to run the right speed, and when you get the right speed, that's when you want to jump. So there's more to it than meet the eye. There are blessings out there, so many opportunities, but there's more to it than meet the eye. And I would certainly love to join in prayer with you as you strive to do these things. Don't grumble, work. Don't cry, get a vision. Don't not believe, sacrifice. It's yours. God got it for you, and you're gonna have it in the name of Jesus. And I know that you're gonna thank God for these coaching moments, because that's what coaching is all about. Not to change your gifts and talents, but to instruct you on how you can be a better you. Take advantage of the things that are already in you that are waiting to be manifested. And watch so many great things happen in your life. The success that you will have if you put these things in action. That's what action coaching is all about. I believe it's time we get up and move. Get up and accept the challenge. Get up and experience those things that belong to us. And I'm certainly excited about you taking that opportunity. Let me know, reaching out to me, saying, this is my goal. This is my motivation. This is what I'm achieving. Because so many dreams are made that way, and so many people that are successful now, they consistently talk about that. I don't believe the age of success is over. The age that dreams are coming true is over. Technology ain't took everything away. There's still so many more open doors for the great things that are in store for you. And that's what action coaching is all about. Helping you to fulfill that dream in your life, achieve that thing that you know and want to do, and watch God help you do it. I'm excited. I'm stirred up, because a lot of people right now listen to me saying, I can't wait. I'm already writing my vision down. I'm already ready to sacrifice. I'm ready to put the work in. I am going to have it. I'm not going to wait another year, another week, another day. I'm going for it now. That's what action coaching is all about. It's designed to encourage you to take that necessary action so that you can succeed with those things you believe in God for. Now I want you to remember, it takes vision, it takes sacrifice, and it takes work. Time for you to do those things and watch all the glorious things that God has in store for you manifest in your life. I would love to hear your testimony. Many are going to say, well, I was on this job, but I changed this job, and I went full speed at this next job. I got a vision, I sacrificed, I put the work in, and I'm doing better than I ever did before. And it's exciting. It gives me a new sense of urgency, a new sense of believing for the impossible, because I've experienced it on a lower level. Now it's time to jump to a higher level. I'm excited about what you're getting ready to experience and how this coaching session has been a blessing to you. Thank God that the time is now. Everything is open for you to do it now. The riches and treasures of heaven and that the world exists to offer you is now. And you can definitely experience it now in the name of Jesus, and let the Lord believe you for this exciting time. I don't want you to go anywhere. I'll be right back to talk to you. Welcome back. Thank you for being a part of Action Coaching on today. I certainly want to encourage you. I love to hear from you via social media. Let me know those things that you're motivated to get started on now. I'm excited about it. I know the Lord is going to richly bless you, and I want you to let me know so I can join with you and cheer you on. And lastly, I want to encourage you to sit down and sow a generous seed faith offering for the support of Action Coaching. Yes, there's a link in my bio that will give you a host of ways to sow to Action Coaching, and I know God is going to richly bless you. I certainly want to encourage you to let others know about Action Coaching. Hit subscribe, hit like on Facebook. Tune in each and every week with us. Certainly enjoyed talking to you on today. And as I do each and every week, I want to encourage you, share the word with a friend and keep the word in action.